So today we also have two groups. One is go to the city center, one is go to Ollingham. And for the city center, we still start from the service center, and we met Mona again for asking some specific areas questions. And we started from the house crisis, which we think is an urgent problem right now. And she told us in the city center of Yumir, people have to wait for 10 to 12 years to get an apartment. It's very hard for the students. So there is a discussion right now about if they need another queue only for the students. And there also another solution from the government, like this. They can go to the social department for help, and in the social department, they can, if they really need an apartment, they can have a good queue in Bostaden. And also, she's really proud of the fair system and the whole company of Bostaden. And after that, we want to go to the social department to say what is the system of that.
Yeah, so the social welfare department basically has a queue of its own in Bostaden, and if there's someone with a housing crisis, social welfare department applies for a housing on their behalf, and that's how they can get a housing. But we weren't able to get in touch with anybody. It was difficult to meet someone face to face, and the only way to speak to someone was via the phone. But we might try again tomorrow. From there, we went on to Umeå commune, which is the municipality of Umeå, and basically we met a person who's a city planner, and she happened to give us a short presentation on one of the areas in Umeå that they are currently planning on expanding in terms of housing, infrastructure and transport and things like that. And she explained us the reasons for that and how they want Umeå to grow. And they predict, or they want by 2050 Umeå's population to be around 200,000, and for which they really need the housing. They need housing for those many people, and how they're planning for that. But at the moment, there is so much of backlog. So even though they are continuously building more houses every year, there's constantly still a crisis situation. And we got in, they have a discussion with one of the areas where new development is going to happen, to see the reaction and listen to people's views on that.
Okay. Now we move to Olidhem. We met two landlords. They sit in the same building, in the same office. One is taking care of the geographic grant, and the other one is taking part of the geographic grant and houses that are close to Ixusport. He is using car to commute between those two areas. He thinks that the Pondus system, the one that they are using to communicate with the repairment people, is working pretty well, and it saves a lot of time for them. He also mentioned the fact that he doesn't really believe in the sustainability, and he only see the profit in that people don't have to pay so much money for the rent. The other landlord, he has a lot of troubles with trash and with the people that are not sorting the trash. Especially for the newcomers that comes from different countries and have different culture of sorting things. And he mentioned the fact that the pictures are definitely more useful than the posters with text only. Then we had a chance to talk with the gardener. This is part that we didn't think about yesterday, but there is also a huge amount of people that caretake of what is going outside of the Bostaden houses. So this guy was taking care of he was cleaning the snow, he was spraying the small rocks, and during the summer he was taking care of the plants and trees. And he's responsible only for the manager, and he doesn't have specific tasks each day, only the areas. And then we had a chance to talk with the Johan, who is the manager of the gardener. When he was talking about the crisis, he really mentioned a really nice thing, that from his perspective, the huge problem is because adult people doesn't have money to rent the small apartments, and they are staying in the big houses only by themselves. And we talk a little about this topic, and this whole interview was taken in the really nice place which is Winter House in Geography Grant. Actually, Geography Grant is really famous of its sustainability. They have solar panels on top of the building, and this is like the really something that the CEO of Bostaden is really proud of. They are having the conferences there and meeting, and they are really this is really important for them to introduce this type of buildings as a Bostaden company. And we also saw something that is quite ironic. So you have these whole sustainable buildings, they use solar panels, but then in front of those buildings you have this trash that someone just left there, which is quite ironic. And one of the person that we also have chance to talk was the Marco. He's working for the Rimab, which is a company that is hired by the Bostaden. And what about him? He used the camera. We can stop.